Hi, and we are live. We are back again. This is the Vinyl Vandals Favorite 5. But today we're having a special one. We normally do a Favorite 5 UK hip hop, a Favorite 5 USA hip hop. But today we've got a special guest. She's our first female that we've had on the show. And we've allowed her to come on and talk about her Favorite 5 vinyl of Bob Marley albums. So this is a special one. Okay. So my name's King Fred. I'm sure you know me by now. I'm a vinyl vandal, and I'm the one that's going to be doing the interviewing today with my spar below me there. He'll introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Ridla, also a vinyl vandal, resident DJ. I do the radio show Monday nights on Try Radio. Tune in.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But with no further ado, as they say, we're going to go straight across to my little pal here on my left-hand side, who I'm sure I can introduce herself.
Hi, my name's Tanya. I'm Fiery Little T from the Fire Girls. I'm a circus performer based in Newcastle, and I've been asked to come on the show today.
Champion. My first question's then going to be, what are the Fire Girls? What do you do? How would people get in touch with you?
So we do large-scale fire and light shows where we work with projection and artwork and fire and light. We do shows outdoors at festivals. We also do like theatre things. We do workshops with community groups. You can find us online, Facebook, The Fire Girls. I'm Tanya Oxbury on Facebook, or Fiery Little T on Instagram. And you can have a little look at my videos. I specialise in hula hooping mainly, but I also do loads of other circus things. The other Fire Girls member is my best friend, Penelope. So yeah.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello, Penelope.
Big up, Penelope.
Yeah. So that's cool. What we can do as well, also, we can sort of share some of your stuff as well. You know, what we say about the Vinyl Vandals is we're very strong from the start that we wouldn't just let people just dump their stuff on our wall and clutter it up with like just advertising and spam and stuff. But if somebody's done something for us like you're doing, then yeah, we don't mind obviously just saying, you know, thank you, as saying follow these people on here. So that's not a problem. As this comes out, when it does come out, which will be next week, we'll build up for you a bit and just say, you know, these are the Fire Girls, thanks very much. And I'll do a bit, make a little John and Julie will also be advertising some stuff as well, just to say, you know, we can't wait to see your show and these are how you can get in touch with them and that type of stuff. And I've seen you perform before, and it's mint, you know, and I think everybody should at least once go and see you. So, you know, if you get a chance, I know we're all coveted at the moment, but if you ever get a chance...
you can book us for your garden party. If you've got a birthday, just holler at us. I'll come to your garden and throw some...
Champion. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, then. So we're here to talk about music. Okay. Music's a big part of my life. Music's a big part of the Vinyl Vandals, Ridla's life. You can see all the music behind him. My music's all to the right-hand side here. I've got lots of vinyl. But it's not about us today, it's about you and your choice. Now, I know you're a massive hip-hop fan. I've been to lots of shows, and you're always there at the front, jumping up and down and bopping. We went to Glasgow. Was it Glasgow last year, Michael? Yeah. We went to Glasgow last year to see the Gods of Rap.
It was so good, man.
So good. And we saw you was there. Drunk. Just a little secret between me and you, but but anyway, yeah. So obviously, I know you're a massive hip hop fan. I know I've seen you quite a few gigs. But today, interestingly enough, you've not chose hip hop. You have chose Bob Marley as your subject. So it's like,
I haven't got loads of records, but what I do have is a little Bob Marley collection because
which is fine. Don't worry about that. It's fine. You don't have to apologize. Yeah, you love music. We know you love music, and that's all that counts. We love music. We don't judge people about the size of the record collection, CD collection, cassette, because you know what I mean. We do draw the line of people that just have
work to do.
What's that?
I've got some work to do looking at Ridla's collection.
we don't judge people on the size of the record collection, like I say, whether it's CD, vinyl. It is, but we do judge people who just have MP3s. We've got no time for MP3 collectors. It's just air. Okay then, let's move right into your first one. Now, I asked you earlier what your number 5 was. Yeah. So we'll start from number 5 and we'll work back over to number 1. Number 1 being your most favourite, but obviously number 5 is still a popular one because you've chose it. What have you chosen for your number 5?
Survivor.
Can you show us that?
Which is a great album. I don't think this is the original. I do think it's.
Woohoo! Yes, and very interesting that that's all African countries, isn't it? On there, the flags of African countries.
So I do love this album, but like I just think I relate to it a little bit less than the other ones. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, it is. It's still a great album, and I do still love playing it.
What's so good about why you like it? You know, you tell me a little bit about why you like that album.
Yeah, it's powerful. It's got meaning. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I think it's a really important album actually in the history of things, and especially Bob Marley's career. It was very much what he was about, what he stood for.
Yeah.
It came at a really difficult time, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when that album was out, and I'm not sure if my brother or my dad had it, but it, you know, and I just remember being fascinated by the flags and learning about African countries off the flags. Do you know what I mean? Because my mum and dad came here many moons ago in the early 60s, and they came from Ghana and West Africa, and obviously looking for the flag on, you know, and just looking for all the different, and also noticing how colourful all the flags are. They always tend to be, well, not all, but most of them tend to be like red, gold, and green of some shape or other, you know. And I also remember one of the flags, I think it's one of the South African countries, it's got like the got like a spear and shield, and I used to love that on the album as well, you know. So
but it stands for Africa, like the whole of Africa, this album, doesn't it? It stands for Black people. It's what it's about, you know, like. I think
because a long time
Marley was like, there wasn't just meaningless music, it stood for something, you know. Like,
yeah, without a doubt. Remind us, I mean, I'm not sure on that album, is Africa Unite on that album? Is that song on there?
I literally haven't listened to these records in quite a few years.
Right.
It's called Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
So Much Trouble. That's a great track. So Much Trouble. That's really good. Ambush in the Night, top ranking. What else is on here? Babylon System, One Drop, which is also a really good one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, you know, Zimbabwe, obviously, it was at the time when I think Zimbabwe were getting their independence. I think I can't remember this because it's a while since I remember looking into Bob Marley stuff, but I think he went and played in Zimbabwe. I think that's where the inspiration for that album came from.
When this album was released, he was doing loads, you know what I mean? Like on the political side of things, wasn't he? He was trying to really stand up for Black people and be a voice. Like that's what this album was.
Yeah. And I think for me, it's like when you look back now, when obviously we've had the awful murder, because that's what it was, of George Floyd in America, and then we've had the backlash of Black Lives Matter and the marching through the streets of America, and then obviously in this country and other countries around the world where people have said no, we're not having it, you know, young people, which is very heartening. I know we've had all lives matter, and we, you know, we're not, I'm not trying to get on my political soapbox here, but we do know all lives matter, but you know, some lives need a bunk up and a bit of help, you know. And when you think about what Bob Marley was trying to say there, it's a shame that he was saying that all those many years ago and it's still relevant now.
Exactly, it's still relevant, and the issues are still issues. There's still problems, you know what I mean? I think people should go back and listen to some Bob Marley, listen to what he was singing about, like the words. It's got a message. It's you know, it's telling you the right way to live, you know, giving you indications of the right way to be, and don't be a cunt. You know?
Ridla, is that, oh, easy now. I've told you. That's your first strike. Ridla, you got anything to add to that?
I definitely think with a lot of rappers could have probably looked at that LP and took a lot of teaching from that. Do you think that's what they've done? Because obviously you've said he's got really good words about certain subjects. Do you think he's done that with that album?
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, for me, it's just the message is, you know, you've got United Nations, you've got, well, we did have European Union, and you know, he was basically saying, instead of getting, you know, other people trying to come and invest and take liberties with your country, why can't we just come together, and also be a unity, instead of fighting across borders, instead of arguing why can't you work together? It's a bit like, you know, the guy from Ghana, who are obviously the country I know the most, Kwame Nkrumah, when Ghana got independence from Britain, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to get all African countries to unite and say, you know, Ghana's free, Ghana's got independence, the first country to get independence, but it's not free really until every other African country is free. And I think obviously Bob Marley bought into that, and that kind of just like unity. It's not saying that it's anti-white or anti.
It's uniting, it's unity. And although it was like they were talking about Africa, like when I listen to it, it's like it's everyone, you know what I mean? Like we all deserve equal opportunities, and like you know.
And I just think also it's that kind of like it's not about people per se just being unique. It's about the workers, you know, the people at the bottom of the struggle. You know, I don't want to start coming off like a communist or anything, because you know I'm far from a communist. However, I do agree with some of the sentiment is in, you know, we should be sharing the wealth a bit more, and you know, it shouldn't just be the riches of the world shouldn't be with like 1% of the people. Do you know what I mean? If you've got all that money, I've just heard, for instance, you know, again, you've dragged this into me political soapbox, but I've just heard that Apple are now worth, they're the first company just been announced today to on the stock exchange to be worth $2 trillion.
I know my son told me that this morning, like that my 10-year-old. Right. He did tell me that this morning, and it's crazy to think some people in the world have so much yet, like some people have so little. So unfairly split.
And then you've got the other side of that is some poor young lad refugee there on Calais being found on the beach dead, and it's just like the contrast between those two. You know, I've been at work all day and I've just started checking over me. You know, like I get news flashes on my phone. I've just been having me tea and looking at the headlines, and that's the two headlines that struck me. Young lad in Calais died on a beach.
And it's crazy that people are saying such negative things about refugees, but like it's insane, because like if you're gonna risk your life like that, like you've got to be running from something really fucking again, really horrible. I've got a foul mouth. You got to be running for something really horrible to take that risk, and with your children and stuff, man. Like, and people
I totally agree with you, but it's,
like,
for me,
you're not welcome here. It's like, who are these people? Like,
it's just a shame that you've got people that feel as though they have to flee. You know, people underneath of lorries, hiding in the wheel carrying of an aeroplane and freezing to death and falling out the sky. I don't know if you heard that last year. Somebody was hiding in the, you know, it happened a few times and landed in London. Just, you know, bodies just landed in someone's garden because they're frozen to death in the air off an airplane because they jumped in the wheel. You know, when the wheel goes up, you've got they've jumped in there to hide. You know, it's people are desperate, and I just think some company has just said they've got $2 trillion. I mean, you know, that's the thing you've got to sink in it to say that's just like it's obscene.
Like if all these rich people would just share, we could solve everyone's problems. It's like that's why I love Bob Marley. Like his whole career, he worked so hard, and he just gave all his money away. Like he took it home and he gave it to communities, and he fed people, and he put roofs over people's heads, clothes on people's back, and that was his priority over anything, was to make sure everybody had an equal share. You know, like
and we'll come back to that because I've got
learn from that,
definitely. I've got one of the books I read about him over there. I've watched lots of documentaries, but a book called Catch a Fire. But we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that later on. Yeah, that's the very book. Yeah, I read it once when I went on holiday. Anyway, so thanks for your first pick. Okay, let's go to your second pick. And what's your second pick of the night?
Uprise. I love the album cover on this one.
Woo! Now I've got to admit this, Tanya. When you told me the list of what you had as your number 5 and number 4, I was cursing you a little bit. You know why? That's one of my favorite. Okay, go on. I'll let you. It's your. Sorry.
It's got so many good tracks on it.
Ridla's been naughty. He hasn't kept his right. Can you put that album down for a second and go back to the other one? Because we've got so much more political. I forgot to ask you a question. What's your favorite song off that album?
Favorite one?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's have a little look. So Much Trouble, I think. So Much Trouble.
So Much Trouble in the World, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, so now you come to this one. So you're going to tell me why you put this at number 4.
Most people, I know most people will put this at 1, especially like most black people will put this at number 1. And the only reason that it's like number 5 is just because I don't relate to it as much like as the other ones. You know, it's about black struggle. It's about, you know what I mean? That's what it's about. And although I love it and I can appreciate it for what it is, but for me, that's my personal choice.
Okay. What I would say is that album that you've got in your hand there, hold it up one more time.
This is a great album.
Since a youngster, I have been fascinated with that album cover, first of all. I just think it's absolutely mint. You know, the dreadlocks are like tree roots, so he's coming, he's rising, uprising, he's rising out of the floor, and he's saying, you know, like, give me freedom, give me strength, whatever you want to call it. That's what it shouts out to me since I was a kid when I first saw it. Okay, and actually,
plus you've got the sun rising as well. So that's
yeah. Okay, and then the green.
A nice cover.
It's a lovely cover. It's one of the, honestly, I'd love that as a picture in my house.
It's like textured. I think this one isn't original. It's like you can't tell, but it's like
doesn't matter. You don't have to keep apologizing for that type of stuff. You've got the album and it's on vinyl. And that's what we're.
I think this is original. I think it's an original.
All right. Okay. Cool. Even better.
Good.
But can I also just say, I absolutely, that would either be my number 1 or number 2 Bob Marley album.
Yeah, the tracks on this album are so good.
So why is it number 4?
Just because it's like the other ones. It was when I listened to them. Do you know when you like when you listen to music and you remember circumstances and things that have happened? So like the other ones, which I'll chat about when we talk about them, they've got a bit more meaning to it. And my favourite one, the reason it's my favourite is because it's got interviews in between every track, and he speaks just truth, and it's like mad powerful, you know, and that's why. It's my favourite.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, you know, I'm just joking. It's your choice, Tanya. Obviously, I'm just having a joke, but obviously for me, that is one of my favourite Bob Marley albums of all time.
I'd like you to rank them and put like I'll rank them, you rank them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's number 1 and number 2 in my Bob Marley collection. And actually, what either would be number 1 and number 2 you haven't chosen, so that's another interesting conversation to have.
Well, no, I haven't got, like, Catch a Fire is one of my favourite Bob Marley albums, but and like the original one is like a lighter, isn't it? And you open it up and it's got.
I haven't got that.
Is it
I haven't got that. Yeah.
You're not got
nice.
that.
I've got Catch a Fire, but I haven't got it with a lighter on now.
I haven't got the original one, so I looked that up, and even 10 years ago that was like 60 quid, and I looked at it the other day, and it's expensive. Like, although I would love it.
Okay, so within that, what's your favourite song off that album there you got?
I like Bad Chord on here.
Love it.
It's a track not many people have heard, I don't think, but it is a great track.
Love really it. I love Bad Chord. You have to remind us, because I can't remember which one's which, but I've got
Paradise is on here, which like I'd heard Damien do first before I realised that it was Bob.
So Bad Chord, Pimpers Paradise, We and Them.
Coming in, We and Them.
From the Cold, love it.
Forever Loving Jah. Could You Be Loved? Redemption songs on this as well, actually.
Yes.
Was it released on this album? Is this the album?
Redemption song. There's Redemption song on that album because
Redemption songs on this album. Oh, you can't see.
Nah, that's class record. That
Redemption song's my favourite Bob Marley song. It's one of my favourite songs of all time. Redemption song.
Have you heard the acoustic one, like of him singing it like live?
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah. It actually is one of those ones I can definitely say can bring a tear to my eye without a doubt.
I know, it's like mad powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very powerful. You know. On the side bit, have you ever heard the Buju Bantam sort of, I can't remember what it's called now, I think it's called Untold Stories. He's got a song, acoustic one, Buju. That's quite powerful as well. You can, obviously it's in the very...
I haven't heard that. I love Buju Bantam. I love
a song called Untold Stories, I think it's called. Again, I'll send you it. It's just amazing. But obviously not as good as their Redemption song, though. Just definitely not.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check that out, though. That sounds cool.
Yeah. The other interesting fact about Bob Marley, just slipping in there, is that because he wanted his friends all to have money as well. Some of the songs on the albums, when you look at them, it's not they say they're not written by him, but they actually were. So you know, he had mates who who he knew would need money and sometime in the future, so they get royalties of some of his songs.
That's amazing.
But he said it's obviously him that wrote it. You can tell the style of it.
Yeah,
he's let his mates have it. He's given his mates down. So he had a mate called Skinny.
He proves what a nice guy was, man.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think that sometimes gets forgotten. He gets remembered for smoking a lot of weed and having loads of kids and lots of wives. And
I know he did do that. Yeah, he did do that, didn't he? He was a bit of a dick to his women, but like.
You could say that, or you could also turn around and say, did the women know? Did the women consent?
They did actually all know about it. I don't know how much of a say they had in the situation, but I didn't think he quite ate it. He was very honest about it, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, as honest as you can be, I suppose. How you want to call it that, but yeah.
And I guess that if he didn't do that, we wouldn't have the music of all the children.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just about to say that. He's just making little musicians, man.
That was the plan all along.
So, what's your favourite song on that? What was your favourite song on that album?
It's Bad Card, I'd say, on this album.
Definitely,
Redemption song, like, yeah.
No, you can only pick one, Tanya. I think you'll realise on this that some be a little cheat like Ridla, who always tries to get 3 songs on each album. Okay.
I do.
I thought you were going to ask me what was my favourite song of all time, and I was like, I can't even.
Just off the album. Okay.
But, so on about royalties and stuff there, I don't know how true this is, you might actually know, but I got told that Lee Scratch Perry actually stole the rights to loads of Bob Marley's songs, and that's why you can buy cheap CDs in like Asda for a couple of quid. Is that true?
Never heard that. I've never heard that.
I'm going to look it up. I heard this. I think I read it somewhere.
When Bob Marley first came out, when they were the Wailers, before there were Bob Marley and the Wailers, I think Lee Perry produced a lot of that stuff.
All that stuff, didn't he? He did. Right. I think he stole some of the tracks and sold them, and that's why you can get like cheap copies of Bob Marley stuff.
It might be that he stole them, or maybe Bob Marley put him down as the person who wrote them, because that's what he did.
Maybe.
So who knows? I don't know. Okay. Any questions, Ridla?
Just over the last 2 albums there.
Yeah. Do
you use any of them to practice your dancing with, or do you use them in any of the shows, or?
Not on them 2 albums. So the other ones, there's a couple of tracks that I used to listen to back in the day when I lived in the Lake District.
Right.
And I used to sit and like meditate and listen to Bob Marley.
Right.
Nice one.
But I don't really hoop a lot to it. You know me, I'm a bit speedy. I like to it. But definitely when I'm chilling or when I'm driving around on a hot day in my car.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Good one.
Cool. I think that's it then. We'll move to the next one then. Okay, next album.
Number.
Oh, I might have got to the 3. Side. I'm gonna change it. I'm allowed to change it.
Of course.
I do this one because it has got my favourite.
Hold it up. Got the bottom as well, so people can see what it's called. Yes. Bring it closer to the camera. Up. Yeah, and closer.
Yeah.
Kaya. Yeah. Yeah.
And that is one of my favourite songs as well, Kaya. I just love it.
I like that song.
It's one of my favourite ones.
Okay.
Obviously, it's got Easy Skanking on here, Misty Morning. Got your
It's not I've got that album, but it's not a one that I play a lot. I've got to be honest.
It's number 3 because Kaya is one of my favourite songs, and that's why it got ranked. Got ranked higher in my list, is because that is probably one of my favourite songs. And Misty Morning, which I was used to listen to first thing in the morning when I lived in the Lake District, proper in the mountains when the mist would be settling over the lake.
Nice.
So it's got it's sentimental. That's why they're ranked the way they are. But also Time Will Tell, which is also called Rastaman Chant sometimes, which is one of my other favourite ones, just because it's so meditative. Meditative. It's got that drumming, and it's almost tribal, and it really resonates with it.
Well, obviously that album is all about that, isn't it? When you think about the name of the album itself, it's about weed, innit? Kaya. So
chilled vibes, good vibes.
Yeah. Kaya. Yeah.
But it's also got She's Gone, which is also another epic song. I quite like that one.
Have either of you ever heard that album? I can't remember what it's called. I've got it somewhere. I just can't find it. I've probably still left it at my dad's, but it's an album that had hip-hop artists rapping over the top of with Bob Marley. So the team Bob Marley songs with certain rappers. So
I've heard some of those tracks. Is that an album?
It's an album. Yeah, it's an album.
Is it?
I've got it. Yeah. So it's got Bob Marley with Lauryn Hill. It's got Public Enemy, Chuck D on it. Quite a few of our favourite artists.
I've heard some of these, but I didn't know there was an album. I'd appreciate linking that.
Yeah. Cool. I've got it somewhere. Like I say, Google it or go on. I'm sure it'll be on on Spotify.
I think John might have sent us that one time.
Right.
A couple of them. Was Daz Effects on?
No, I don't think Daz Effects are on, if I remember rightly. I haven't heard it for years.
Yeah. I'm
hoping I've still got it because it's one of the ones I got when it came out in the hip hop era. Then I got divorced from my son's mum, and it was one of the where I didn't really have anywhere to stay, so I put stuff in boxes and I left it at different people's houses. And I've lost quite a few records because I don't know where I left them, and people haven't said, "Oh, Fred, you left your records." Yeah, they've just kept them.
No one's finished up for you over that.
Yeah. So bit of a get, really, like, you know, when you do where stuff is. But it might be in my dad's loft because I did put a lot of stuff in my dad's loft, and I've got a lot of stuff out in my dad's. Since
sounds like a pretty cool album. Like, if it's on Spotify, I'll definitely check it out.
And I had it on cassette and I had it on vinyl, so I'm sure one of the other should be somewhere, I would have thought. But I'll hunt it out, and again, I'll send you the name of it if I can find it. But Google it anyway. It's a really good.
Just mentioning that, does it? I don't know this because I'm not really up on Bob Marley much. I know all his really like popular songs.
Yeah.
And they're really good. But does he get sampled much by hip hop artists?
There was that song by one of the X-Posse, Mid-Range.
Right. Yes.
He did a song called "Kids in the Ghetto," which is the "Could You Be Loved" sample.
Right.
I can't think who else has done. There's not been loads, to be honest. Like,
no, loads. Like, if you listen to Damien's songs, he does sample him loads. The more I listen to Bob Marley, the more I realise how much he samples his dad in his tracks.
Right. Yeah. I can't think who else has really done it that much, to be honest, except actually like that album. But who else has done it? "Could You Be Loved," which was by Mid-Range from the X-Posse.
Yeah.
And that's on an album called Hip Hop Ragga or something, and I've got that on cassette.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
CD.
I've seen them.
Yeah. It's a mint tune, absolutely mint tune. And I can't think who else is really.
I'm sure there'll be a few.
I'm going to be making notes next time I'm listening.
I'm sure there'll be a few because he's, with him being like a massive artist, what he is.
Yeah.
He's like the James Brown, but of reggae, if you know what I mean. He is the biggest reggae artist, isn't he?
Yeah, it's one of those. Some people didn't like him because they thought he sold out, and he sort of crossed over, and he sort of, some of his tunes were a bit popified reggae compared to like deep roots reggae, but I love him. I don't care what anybody else is.
The meaning behind his tracks and stuff, man, like all of that goes into it. That's what made him special. Like, once I was he was like Jesus to me. Like, his words were like a religion. You know what I mean? I lived by it. Like, love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you pick your best song off that album? Did you?
I did. It is Kaya.
Kaya.
Time. I was gonna pick "Time Will Tell," but like the rest of them chant on the other one, it's the same song.
Fair enough. Okay. Next album.
This one is "Live at the Rainbow."
Right.
And the reason for this is
Tanya, can I just say, from your next two albums, you've cheated, but I've allowed you. Okay.
Okay. I know, it's like a live album, so
just because we're like you, because the trouble is these live albums and these best ofs is cheating, okay? It's getting as much as you can in it. Hello. Hiya. It's getting as much. Oh, I like your t-shirt. It's you getting as much in as you can off two albums there, okay? But we'll allow you, okay?
This is like mad sentimental to me because when my eldest son Bob Marley. Yeah.
Bob Marley.
You've taught them well. Oh. Taught them well.
He's so cute. But my eldest son, when he was 3 years old and was just learning to talk, learned every word, and would stand and watch it like between 3 to 5 times every day, and kind of ruined it for us, but literally knew all the dance moves, all the lyrics. And when you hear a 3-year-old sing "War," it'll do like mad things to your emotions. Like he sat and cried listening to him singing. So it's like mad sentimental, this one. Like,
I'll tell you a story about my son. So when my son was, mum was going into labour, we were in the RVI, and I was playing James Brown, and I was playing because I had to find songs that didn't have swearing on, so I was playing James Brown, and so Bob Marley's greatest hits and James Brown's greatest hits.
Yeah.
I put them on repeat, and then when my son was born, his favourite artists have been Bob Marley and James Brown. When he was growing up, yeah, he absolutely loved them. Bob Marley, loved Bob Marley. And his favourite Bob Marley album, you haven't picked his favourite Bob Marley, but I think his favourite Bob Marley album is because it's one of my favourite albums, so I used to play it a lot, so I used to like it.
Yeah. Wait a minute, I'm trying to do
that in a minute.
You're going to show over that, but we've seen it now. It's upside down. This way. Right. You're going to behave? Sit next to it. That is Bob Marley. You sit next to it.
So what's your favourite song off that album then that you've...
Oh, of this album. Sorry, I got distracted there. Where have I put it?
All right.
Trenchtown Rock, I love on this.
Trenchtown Rock, yeah, I like that, yeah.
The lyrics of it. You love that. Don't snap it.
Oh no.
So what's so good to you about Trenchtown Rock?
I love the lyrics of Trenchtown. No pain. It's a great line.
What's that, sorry?
One good thing about music, when it hits you, feel no pain. And it's one of my favorite lines ever written by anyone. Like, it's great. And also, like, I can't remember off the top of my head the lyrics. It hasn't got them on here. But yeah. All the lyrics of that track are just great.
Yeah. One of my favorite Bob Marley lines is the Trenchtown Rock one, like you say, one good thing about music. But another one of mine's the one where he goes on about, I want to disturb my neighbour, give him full nuts tonight. I want to.
Yeah.
Turn up my
Midnight Raver or something.
No, it's when what's it called? I want to turn up my disco, give them in a rubber dub style, in a rubber. I can't remember what it's called now. I can't remember what the song's called, but I want to turn. You just want to annoy his neighbours.
You know when someone sings a bit of a song and you've got to get.
It's bugging you. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, I know it.
And you've got to remember, Fred is such a good singer.
Hey, Bobby, it's I think it's on it's either on Uprising or it's on I'll come out with this. Yeah, it's on Uprising or it's on Rastaman Vibrations, but I think it's on Uprising, that those words. I can't remember what song it is. Okay, yeah. So what's your next one you're picking?
Oh, so my favourite one.
Is this number one?
Is this number one?
It's called Talking Blues, and it is a compilation, as Fred pointed out.
Yes.
but that's number 2. That's number 2. But in between all the tracks on this album, there's interviews with Bob Marley, and it's just him talking about various different things. And it's like, yeah, it's like mad epic, and it is my favourite one for that reason. It's got him talking on it. Like,
right. I've never, until you mentioned it, I'd never heard of that album.
It's quite rare. I googled plenty, please. I googled it, and it's actually quite rare.
When did it come out?
It's not that well known, I don't think.
When did it come out?
It says this compilation was made in 1991, so it's not really that old.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. It passed me by because I never heard of it.
Old one, but I think not many must have been printed. And I think obviously the talking before every track, and he tells you about every track on it and like what its meaning was and why it was written.
Oh, okay.
And it's really cool. It is really
That sounds really good, that actually.
epic. And that's why it's my favourite one.
Yeah. What's your favourite song off that album?
I was just going to have a little look there. the Rastaman chants on here, so I would have to say that one. Just because when I lived in the lakes, that is my song that I used to sit by the lake to and play and just like sit and be at one with nature.
So is that the same song you picked twice there? Have you picked the same song twice there?
I might have done, the only other one I did say, like I would have maybe picked that one, but which album was it? I did pick Kaya off this album, but I did say that my other favourite song is on it. I picked Kaya. So I haven't picked the same one.
Fair enough. Okay.
I've also got this really cool book, which I should actually have it valued as well. It's got loads of original artwork.
All right.
Pictures of like unseen pictures of him. And
yeah.
Cool. It is called Soul Rebel, Natural Mystic. Fred's got that one. Fred's got that one. I do apologise about me little sign.
That's all right. Don't worry. We're all family, so don't worry.
Yeah. All the albums you've picked, the cover art on all of them are really good. Like.
Yeah, I think.
This one, like it is cool, even though it's a compilation. I think it's got like it's quite unique. You know, it's pretty cool. Please don't ruin this. It's very, very old.
And that's him without his dreadlocks as well, isn't it?
Yeah, this is like Bob Marley on there before.
I mean, yeah. before he had dreadlocks, when he was in the Wheelers, he didn't have dreadlocks yet. He hadn't turned Rasta yet, you know. So the album, I think, I've got the name of the album that I was telling you about. It's called Chant Down Babylon.
Chant Down Babylon. What, the song you were talking about before?
So on that album, it's got Erykah Badu singing.
Oh, that album.
Okay. The hip hop album.
The hip hop album, singing No More Trouble. There's a song called Crazy, a song called Rebel Music, the 3 o'clock word block. And that's with Crazy Bone. He's got a song, Johnny Was, with Guru.
That's a good song.
Concrete Jungle with Rakim. Rastaman Chant with Busta Rhymes and Flip Mode Squad.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Guilty.
I think that might be the one John sent us.
Guiltiness with Lost Boys and Mr. Cheeks. Turn Your Lights Down Low with Lauryn Hill, which is really good. Yeah,
I think I've heard that. I have heard that.
And then you know, obviously, there's other people. There's the Marley Brothers and the Ghetto Youth Crew singing kinky reggae. There's Roots Reggae with Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Oh yeah.
And then there's Survival, aka Black Survivors with Chuck D. And my son Ash, I used to love that Black Survivors with Chuck D.
I've not heard that.
It's get the album anyway. If you like Bob Marley and you like your hip hop, which I know you do.
I'm going to be playing it as soon as I know.
Chant Down Babylon. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Fred. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I think for me, just to say, obviously, for my Bob Marley, I know a lot of people's jump in and jump out with Bob Marley is what's that album called? With everything.
Legend album.
Legend, yeah. That was the first album somebody had bought for me because the albums were already around my house. My dad had stuff, and my brother already, you know. So they are. I think my dad had. I've since went and got my own, but my dad had Babylon by Bus.
Yeah, I've got that one somewhere. Actually, I have actually got that one.
Love Babylon by Bus because it's another live album. But one of my favorite albums is Uprising, and the other one is Rastaman Vibration.
That's also a good album. Yeah.
Johnny Was on. It's got War, which is one of my favorite Bob Marley songs.
Yeah, War is such an epic song. Like,
listen to the words of that.
Reasons to Live at the Rainbow. I don't even know if it's actually on this, but I know it's on. It's not on this actual album, but on the live show. Have you watched the live show of Live at the Rainbow?
Yeah. Live at the Rainbow. Yeah.
It's epic.
And like War, the words of War. He got the words from Haile Selassie when Haile Selassie did a speech.
Yeah.
The words were, you know, until the colour of a man's skin is no more significant than the colour of his eyes. Everywhere is war, and it's so true. You know,
it's still to this day, man. It's still like mad relevant.
And then when he came here to record an album when he was living in London, he used to walk around and he used to see all these punks that were getting into reggae. So that's when he did that song called Punky Reggae. Yeah. That's on that album as well. It's just, to me, it's just mint, absolutely mint.
I love Catch a Fire. Like, I love the whole vibe of that album, but I haven't got it. Like, getting these records out and having a look at them is making me want to buy more. I might have to go and buy that one. I would say that's one of my top. That's really in my top 5.
Time to do it now, because if you go on places like eBay, you can get some canny bargains. You know, I'm not paying anything.
It's still quite expensive. I'd probably have to get a repress if I was going to get it on vinyl.
Represses. Why not get a repress?
Because the original one's got such a cool cover.
Yeah, but the cool cover can be a repress as well. You don't have to get.
I don't know if you can actually get a repress of the original cover. Can you?
You can.
I'm gonna look.
Yeah, it's worth it if you can. I mean, a lot of the hip hop represses are. Do you know what I mean? I've just got a 2-pack one because I had it on CD, which is strictly for, and I've got it on in vinyl form now, double album, and it's exactly the same as the CD cover that I got when I first originally got the album. So why not? I don't care.
I used to love going around charity shops and going through record collections and finding things, and like when you find like an original and like it's really exciting. And I've not done it for about 10 years. You should buy a record player and get back into it.
You should be with the Vinyl Vandals. We let you go out and do a little hunt, don't we, Ridla?
You still go out and do it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was in Tynemouth on Sunday.
At the market.
I got about Tynemouth at the market, and I got about 30 records.
When we went years ago, like about 10 years ago, you'd still find really cool things, and then it got to a stage where you'd go and you just see the same rubbish records, and like there was nothing exciting. Like we found original Rolling Stones records, man, like the Hexagon Sleeve. I can't remember what album it is. Hexagon Sleeve.
What you've got to understand is because vinyl's made a massive comeback.
Yeah.
But we've always been into it anyway.
Yeah.
But everybody now
let's jump back on it.
We could say hipsters, whatever.
No, we're not.
They are buying all the stuff, so everybody's selling records now. Everybody.
But
it's great for us.
We go to record fairs. We buy online.
You should give us a show, because I used to sit and look on Discogs and stuff. Like I used to be like properly bang into it when I lived in the Lake District. I had loads of time on my hands.
Yeah. If you touch lucky on some of these sites as well, like I mean, eBay is a classic one. You know, Emma goes mad and says, "Oh, you got more records come this morning." It's like, yeah, but I don't. I only pay about £3-4 for them. Do you know what I mean?
You just gotta hit lucky.
Yeah,
like...
I refuse to pay the stupid prices that people are charging. Do you know what I mean? Unless it's a really, really rare one that I've always wanted. I've just ordered someone just come this morning. I've got 3 packs that open downstairs. But I've only paid about £3 and £4 for them. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I got an album last week. I moved it now, and I got it. It's a compilation, and I paid $1.99 for it. And
it's worth it. Album, like, you can't even buy like a virtual like album for that these days. You know what I mean? And the joy like on the deck and the sound of the needle and the crackling and all that.
Yeah,
man.
that's the one. You know.
I got this one. It's a DJ's cut of what do you call it? The Ultramagnetics.
All right, yeah.
And it didn't cost very much. And it's got Ego Trip On, Funky, B-Boy Bonus Break, Chorus Line Instrumental, and Ease Back as well.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? And it was only a couple of quid. Yeah. You know, it's not in a proper fancy sleeve or anything, but it's mint. You know.
Well, you used to get really good finds. So I remember us finding like Jimmy Castor Bunch, like original album in a charity shop. You can't really do that these days unless you find a charity shop that like just threw all the records in the attic like 6 years ago. To see them, and they're like, "I'll let you in the cupboard." Like, you might...
Emma got me just before COVID hit. Emma went onto the high street in Gateshead. She went to charity shop and she went, "Oh, think for it like that." She bought 2 albums. One was a reggae one, but it was one of those ones that they used to play in clothes shops that was like fake reggae, like a UB40 type brand. Nastiness. I think she got a couple other records that were like, one of them I can't remember what it was now, but I was like, whoa, it was mint. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She got it for like 50 pence.
You've got to hit unlucky, like if someone's just like died or like someone's clearing out a house that's been abandoned and happen. Pick it up and throw it in, and the people who run the shop haven't got a clue, then you can still hit lucky.
Yeah, of course you can. And I think at the moment, obviously, I'm being horrible about this, but people have lost jobs and stuff, so people will be selling stuff again. I want money because they've been making, they've been furloughed, they've been getting all of that money.
There'll be people selling in their record collections.
There'll be a lot of stuff people selling again because.
I know my ex must have had about 5,000-6,000 records and never played them for years. They just sat in a corner doing now book collectors. Some people don't like enjoy them like they should, really.
Okay, we're going off topic. We need to get back on topic. So I'm just going to finish, first of all, by telling people a few things. We are the Vinyl Vandals. You can follow us on Facebook. We have the Vinyl Vandals on Facebook. We have the Vinyl Vandals UK on Twitter. We have the detective, the Trainer Detective on Instagram. This is the Trainer Detective here. This is something that is part of the Vinyl Vandals family. Me and my son, what are you doing with your finger? Me and my son.
I'm pointing at the sign.
Fat Head Hatter and myself, we like to go into people's houses when COVID's not around, and we like to look at the trainer, rummage through the trainer cupboards and have a look at all the trainer collection.
I wish I looked after my trainers. I've had so many epic trainers and I wear them to the death. Like, I'm really bad for it.
So if you've got trainers and you haven't battered them like Tanya, then give her a shout and we'd like to have a look at. But we can also interview you on Zoom at the moment. You know, we're doing interviewing people on Zoom and talking about their top 5 trainers if that's what they want to do. It's all good. If you've got a vinyl collection, hip hop vinyl collection, and you want to come and talk about your favorite UK or USA artists that are on your top 5, come and speak to us. Don't forget to follow Tanya and the Fire Girls. Yeah. Like I say, we'll share that around on our thing. Most importantly, no disrespect to anybody else, but please remember, every Monday night, 8 till 9, on Try Radio, which is on the MixLR app, DJ Ridla will be spinning all that good stuff. That's him there. We'll be spinning all that good stuff from the UK to the USA in the way of hip hop. Okay.
UK.
Don't forget that. And then also once a month coming soon, yours truly, me and John, two quarters of the Vinyl Vandals, are going to be doing a mix show on Try Radio, which is going to be whatever we decide it's going to be. The first one is going to be, because it's 10 years since we first brought out the Keep the Faith album, we're going to do a 10-year anniversary best of all the albums that were brought out. I think we brought about 6 out. So we're going to do a best of my favorite 10 and John's favorite 10, and put them on a mix so that you can listen to them to your heart's content. And then in the next month after that, we'll pick something else. Okay, so we're always going to be keeping it fresh. But the best thing to do is just get amongst it, get involved, watch these videos, share these videos, follow the Fire Girls, follow the Trainer Detective, follow the Vinyl Vandals. You got any last words, Ridla?
Yeah, just like go and see Tanya's show, because we saw it up at Lindisfarne last year, and it was one of the most popular things there, because obviously the night was drawn in, getting dark. There's fire. There's people with swords. There's fireworks. There's good music. Dancing to Wu-Tang Clan. It was really, really good. So go and see the Fire Girl show when we're out of COVID. When we'll be out of it soon. So, and like she says, book a fire garden.
Yeah. Book me for your events, when your festivals.
Yeah.
Tanya, have you got any last words?
No, thank you for having me. It was fun. Like, you maybe want to get my vinyl out again, which is great. Like, I'm going to get on it.
That's what it's all about.
Definitely.
So thank you. You've been fantastic. We weren't that bad with you, were we?
Oh, he's worried.
Yeah, there's the rubber stamp if ever I've heard it. Okay, everybody, thanks very much. Don't forget, I know obviously we've got COVID. I know obviously we're going through some tough times with unemployment because of COVID and people's mental health. I know, don't mind admitting it's challenged me from time to time over this period. But ring somebody up. My advice to anybody is ring somebody up that you haven't spoken to for a while. Go through your phone and think, right, actually I haven't heard from him or I haven't heard from her. Give him a ring, give him a nudge and say, are you okay? How's it going? Yeah.
Reach out, man, and put on your favourite album.
Definitely.
Music.
Yeah.
Your favourite album, which is just what I was going to say. Look after yourself. Give yourself your own little hug by putting your favourite album on, like Tanya's just said. but also reach out to somebody else and just give them a nudge and just say, you know, I was thinking about you, how you doing? How's it going? How's you? How's the kids? How's your family? Whatever. But reach out, because we're all going through tough times. We'll only get through it together. Okay?
Yeah, just be
Thanks,
kind.
everybody. Peace.
Don't cause unnecessary stress with people. Be nice.
Definitely.
Yeah. 2 heads are better than 1.
Take care, everyone. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye from the Vinyl Vandals.